All right, we've gone live on what do we got? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram over here. I've been on Instagram in a little bit. I apologize for all my Instagram brothers and sisters. That kiltz has been remiss. I'm gonna see who's showing up on the live today. Nobody yet, but it's still early. It's Sunday. I get Malcolm helping set up the studio a little bit today. I've been remiss in our studio setup. Can you guys hear kiltzy all right? Let's see. We've got, again, it's Angela's here. Carnivus, Grandma, how you doing? Thank you. Anna, Limus Upchuck, Bora, thank you for stopping in. And I'm doing questions, comments, all sorts of things. It's good to see you. I'm still here, but I'm on my YouTube, Facebook, and X. I think that's it. I tried to get on Mighty Tribe, but it didn't allow that one either. So Dr. Crowell, how you doing? Good morning. Great day, grand rising. King, how you doing? Dave Kosak, how you doing? From Arizona. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Nice to see you. And we're talking about kiltz's keto, carnivore, faith, fertility, fasting. All those things are open today. I'm going to see if we get some... let's copy the link here and add it to the chat on our YouTube. And, anyone wants to join us for a little conversation, let's see what you got, right? Washington State. Hey, carnivore grandma. Hey, Cam's guard. How you doing, Cams? Nice to see you. What do we got? We got Thomas. How you doing? We got let's see. Gloriam, how you doing? Orlando. Bev. Hey, Bev, how you doing? Let's see. I know what I could do. I gotta work on let's see, do I want that one? I want this one, I think. Let's see how this works. Go here, and I think I could go. All right. Let's see. We're over here or we're over there. All right. We're good. Move us around. It's a great day in paradise. I'll work to get to the Instagram questions. If you do QQQ in Instagram, that's always a good one. There is a question button there. Great day, Arizona, Austin, Texas. Love my Austin, Texas brothers and sisters. We have a meetup coming up this Friday at my house in Sarasota, and Tampa is going to be on Saturday. So you got to join us, right? Let's see. Making sure I got this heading right. That's right. Got this right on. I'm going to lower this one a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. All right, brothers and sisters. Great day in paradise. Let's see who's going to join us here. We got, let's see. Desiree, how you doing, Desiree? You're welcome to chime in. Got to unmute. How's it going in the carnivore world, right? Or the keto world or the faith and fasting world. That's it. The status of Cali location. All right. The Irvine office is up and running momentarily. We just got our license to follow in with it. And I'm working on a full IVF center also. So that's really exciting to come to. So thank you. All right, let's see. North Dakota Lance, how you doing, my brother? Great to see you. Let's see. We got Isabel Goyer. Hey, Isabel, Montreal, Quebec. Nice to see you. Let's see. Michael, United Carnivore. Thanks for stopping in. And again, Irvine is technically done, the monitoring office. And again, I'm working on Irvine for a full IVF lab. I'm working on Orlando, and I'm working on South Carolina, Charlotte, a great one. Larry Ryan, good morning. And the Kiltz Mighty Tribe, welcome and thank you, everyone. Again, we're doing this rocking together, and I'm working on some new books and new ideas, and new blogging, new posting, all of it. Really excited. Kelly Broken Carnivore. Good morning, Dr. Kiltz from Higbee, Missouri. How you doing? Great to see you. I put on a link. Show your face on the link. Be glad to add you in. Let's see. I'm in a restaurant. Oh, nice, Larry Ryan. Again, this is such an amazing concept and idea, what we're all sharing around the world, that a carnivore meat-centric diet is the healthiest diet for our brothers and sisters around the globe. And they're telling you, no, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Do you need to be off GLP-1 before resuming fertility treatments? Well, you could stay on the GLP-1 until you're pregnant, but in order to do anesthesia, you have to be off it for at least 7 days. Some people want a month. That should be enough. Cali location opening soon. Almost there from Philly. Anna and Philly, how you doing? Al Ferris, Maryland, EJ Pegas, James Posh, how you doing? Great to see everyone. Let me make sure I get a wave and a shout out to everyone. Thanks, Malcolm. I think Malcolm cut out. He kind of finished what he was doing there. And let's see. Mike Sully, Melbourne. Good morning, everyone, from cold morning in Melbourne, Florida. It's cold in Florida. I'm in Sarasota. It's cold. Absolutely. All right. Alabama in the house. Candy Cam. How's it going? Right. Jeffrey Wallace. How you doing? I appreciate the likes, subscribe, the shares, all those things we're doing together. And good morning from Tennessee. Tatternay, how you doing? My good friend Scott Everson. Don't forget, meat stock this year is going to be really great. Mirbeau, end of February. Oh, nice. Awesome, awesome. Jeffrey, ready for the hot springs and cold plunge. Awesome. Nice. Let's see. Marissa Mejlio. Good morning. How's it going? We got, let's see. Shanae Colan. How you doing, Shanae? Great to see you also. Miami. Rick. How you doing, Rick? All right. We got Thomas in the house. All right. I was a little late, Thomas. Don't. Great.
Hey.
Nice. How's it going?
I'm doing okay. Just getting over a cold, so
yeah,
I figured I'd pop in and say hello.
I'm glad. I had the cold. The bugs want to kill us and take us down, don't they?
Yes, they do. They do.
They do. But it's just all part of nature and the universe, right?
Yep. So just do what you got to do, and got to get life going.
So tell me, how long you been on carnivore diet? And how's it going?
It was a year, January 1st.
Right. And what type of benefits have you gotten from that carnivore lifestyle?
Mostly just feeling better. My A1C has been going up and down, but just better A1C, better insulin resistance, not as much insulin taken. It's a process.
It is. And I think insulin resistance is liver damage, and that's our biggest problem. Our liver is damaged. And how do we, undamage the liver? I mean, I think fatty meat, faith and fasting, that's it. We got Vampire G9F in Newport Beach, California. I'll be down in Newport pretty soon. And we're opening up in Irvine, so it's kind of exciting. So what's your, you have a channel and you've been talking about it, and are you getting some great stories out there of people that are healing on the carnivore lifestyle?
I am. I'm up to about my 50th interview. So today is going to be pretty exciting. Somebody you actually know, Alia, is going to be I'm going to be interviewing her today.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Nice. And you'll agree that these stories and interviewing people is such a powerful concept, and but most people don't seem to, I don't know, believe it or honor it or understand it, do they?
No. A lot of people think that their story isn't powerful enough or whatever the reason is, So, I mean, I'm always looking for more, but.
And simply telling these stories online, they're calling biblical stories, which is more powerful than anything I've ever learned.
Right. I mean, I kind of feel that, like a lot of times they call it, a lot of us call ourselves like influencers, but I like to call ourselves inspirationalists.
I like that.
I think we inspire. I don't think we should really be influencing other people to do what they, I think we should be inspiring.
I guess we have no idea whether we influence them or not. Right. But I like the idea of being inspiration for change, right?
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And I think most of us are an inspiration. We just don't know it. We're inspiring somebody.
Right. We want to be the inspiration that builds in all of us to make a better life. And how long have you been diabetic?
I was diagnosed when I was 30, so I'm 53 now, so 23 years.
Yeah. And your diabetes is considered a type 1 or type 2, or is it sort of a little bit of both?
Well, it's diagnosed as type 2, but sometimes you can never tell, yeah. So, I mean, diagnosis-wise, I'm type 2.
Yeah. Although we don't, again, it's long-standing use of insulin, and there's probably a lot more or liver damage than we know. And so, all right, we got Rick in the house.
Got Rick. Hey, Rick.
Yes. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah. What's the temperature in the house for you, Rick?
I think it's like 50. I can't tell on the thermometer. It looks like 50.
Oh, it's cold there.
Tolerable.
So for you, it's cold there then?
No, I don't get cold. Oh. It's the heat that bothers me. I don't even own a jacket.
Yeah. Well, I think it was like, what is it now? Let's see if I could. Oh, I don't want to lose my Instagram peeps. But it was in the 40s this morning, which I mean, that's warm compared to so many places. I'm still down south, right? Iguanas rule. Andrea, my cousin Andrea Mastalone, awesome. Norfolk, Virginia. Yes, it'll open up in 1 month-ish, almost open. Yeah, eat what ails you, right? I guess, let's see. What do we mean by that, Rick? Eat what ails you, right? I guess if your joints ail you, you got to get some knuckles, pig knuckles, and chew on the bones, right?
I wouldn't know what that feels like. I've never had joint pain. Look at how I sit all the time. Doesn't bother me.
I feel great. I mean, there's a tweak here and there sometimes, and a poke, but I still keep going and doing the usual and customary.
I seem to be the exception to all the rules. I get up in the morning, I'm ready to go as soon as I'm out of bed.
Yes, you are the exception there, Rick. But, it's a good exception.
And Rick's been a carnivore for 40 years?
42 years since 1983.
Yesterday. All right, Bill Cook's got the 7-day fast in line. Nice. Do you do any fasting, Rick? Or
no, I don't fast. I try to eat. I try to get as much food as I can. Although technically, I guess I do, because I don't eat for 12 hours every day. I eat before 7, and I generally eat breakfast after 7.
I have fasted at times.
This is what I look like just before I started the carnivore diet.
Right on. And it kind of looks like you look the same to me.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. I did a 5-day fast, I think 2 weeks ago, and never felt better. And it's really kind of crazy concepts and ideas that we're riding on. What's your favorite meat to eat, Thomas and Rick?
I like steak. You can stake your life on that. So that's the best. I like any kind of steak. I don't really care what kind it is, just as long as it's, and I like it usually black and blue. I like just to sear it on the skillet.
Yeah, that's still my favorite, black and blue. It's good.
I like Muscovy duck. That's my favorite, Muscovy duck.
And do you have them in the yard?
I did, but I haven't eaten any duck in over a year now. The neighborhood, we had too many raccoons. They wiped out a lot of the ducks. We haven't had many ducklings, but hopefully the population will rebound. They'll come back to my yard. I'll start feeding them, fattening them up. I like to fatten them up for at least a month before I cook the ducks, because if I catch them, they're going to be very lean, tough, taste like dirt. But after I fatten them up for a month, they're absolutely delicious.
Liver and heart's really good. So let's see. Health with AK, down 100 pounds, exercises 5 days a week, and tips on losing the last 10 pounds. I stopped measuring. And even the same thing with all this CAC score stuff and all this other stuff, just stop measuring. That's one of our problems. But
I couldn't really see that, Rick.
so you do your blood pressure from time to time, but not all the time.
No, I did it the last time, I think on Tuesday when I was on live, but I just do it out of curiosity.
Yeah, I think I do it out of curiosity too. So I guess to lose that extra 10 pounds is lean meat and one meal a day, and maybe do a week of fasting if you really, feel so strongly about getting down on that, right?
Why do people need to lose a certain amount of pounds? That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, there's no rationale other than we're a little bit of we want to somehow be like others. Yeah.
Why would anybody want to do that?
Well, what other cow looks at the other cow and says, "Boy, you better lose some weight"? None. I mean, what is the optimal weight?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Right on. Carnivore 2 years. Keep hearing comments that fasting is detrimental for perimenopause. I mean, historically, we probably went days or weeks maybe without food in tough times, but to purposely fast a week is unnecessary. A day, I think it's great, but it's not required.
Oh, okay.
98 over 7, 100 over 70-ish. It's good.
I guess I'm not going to get that heart attack anytime soon that I wanted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're all going to die, and how and when we die, I don't know that anyone's been able to predict that very well. Right?
Yeah, I think the stress of you just trying is going to get you that heart attack there, Rick.
Yeah, trying. Yeah. Give it up. Right? Let's see. One of my daughter's dogs is with us. I stand barefoot outside in the snow while he pees in the morning. Yeah, getting out and grounding. I guess you could go outside in the snow and pee too. So any of us often do that, right? And Teresa Glacier, how you doing? We got George. Let's see. We got Kelly. I don't know how many we can. Let's see if we can get Kelly in the house.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Thomas. Hey, Rick.
Hey.
Nice to see you. Good. Where are you at in this world, Kelly?
I am in the middle of the United States, dead center, Missouri.
Missouri. Nice. And how long you been in the carnivore journey?
Well, technically in the keto, low carb carnivore journey, I started 5 years ago, January of 2021, through a video through Dr. Berry, but technically I didn't really enter the straight carnivore world till July 26th of 2024, a year and a half ago.
Wow. And tell us a little bit how you've been feeling on this crazy diet. Why did you do it in the first place?
The reason why I went on this diet is because I was dealing with chronic inflammation, especially with my lower hip. I do have a bad hip, but with the carnivore, eating this crazy carnivore diet that people say it's bad for us, like I have a leg discrepancy, I have a limp, and I am working on I have to have a hip replacement, but I don't have no pain in that hip. I don't have like chronic inflammation. I lost over 60 pounds. I feel phenomenal.
And would you recommend this way of eating for everyone?
I would, absolutely. It's their choice how they want to eat, but I definitely would recommend this diet to everyone because, one, just through our testimony, you have many people out here dealing with chronic inflammation, heart failure, trying to get a heart attack. and every one of us has this story, has our journey, and a lot of us is reverse our issues. A lot of us is working on reversing our issues, and everyone that is sharing their journey will definitely tell everybody how phenomenal they feel.
We need to be inspiring more people. And do you feel like you're inspiring or influencing?
I'm hoping I'm doing both. You know, I'm inspiring and I'm influencing whatever I can. I know that I have a good friend, nurse practitioner, just here in my area, that she actually, when people comes to her with issues, she's actually recommending my YouTube channel. And I told her, I said, not only that, share others. I say, here's some other channels to share and just let them inspire. And I can't believe that, just to be in a living example out there, just watching how you change and how you feel, that can make just one simple change by just a nurse practitioner suggesting, hey, check this channel out, check his journey out.
And so, but it's not scientifically proven. And wouldn't you want a doctor with some, like a white coat and a stethoscope with authority to really be the ones telling this story?
Not really. It should be us, because the one thing I tell people, it's like, this diet's phenomenal. You give it 30 days, try it out, but it's up to us. And the one thing about it, we can always consult our doctors to start a journey like this. But if you want to change your health, you have to take your health in your own hands. You have to take the reins, and you're going to have to make that step. It's like, do I want to live like this the rest of my life, or do I want to, live the best life I can? And that's the one thing I tell people. It's like, if I have one day left on earth, I'd rather have that quality life, healthy, happy, knowing that, I have one day and I'm going to enjoy it, versus 20 years in my chair on drugs, on pain medicine, just relying on doctors. I'd rather do that, have the good day on earth, versus 20 years relying on medicine and all the pharmaceutical junk.
I'd like to get each of your opinions on the new food governmental triangle. I call it the Bermuda Triangle, and whether or not the government's role has been helpful. And is this really telling us the truth, or it's okay, they got some meat in there, eggs, cream, and butter, but it's still low fat, and most people don't even look at this stuff anyway? Rick, why don't you go ahead?
Well, you know how it is. Every time the government tries to get involved, it's always a special interest, the financial flim-flammers that try to manipulate everything. And it's a lot more profitable for people to eat commodity-based crops that are easily stored, that they can have markets, have futures, and all these things in, rather than having people have their own local food source, whether it be if they want to eat plants. I don't have a problem with that. As you know, I grow fruits and vegetables, and I give them to my friends. It does not make me feel bad. I don't feel like I'm poisoning them, because I don't think that everyone is poisoned by plants. However, for me, in my case, I can't eat that stuff, because that stuff destroys my digestive system. I get diarrhea, gas, and I feel terrible. I really do. So I have to eat the carnivore diet. All these years, they were telling me when I was younger, the base of the food, the bread is the staff of life, and whole grains are the best for you, and vegetables and juices and all this garbage, which I found that anything green to me is toxic. The only thing that I'll eat that's green is an iguana. I cannot eat salad. I can't eat lettuce and spinach, the kale, the smoothies, the juice. They make me very, very sick. I get diarrhea. I was getting headaches, and I tried when I was, 25 years old. I tried to go plant-based, and it destroyed me. I felt so bad. And I constantly criticized the government with all their stupid food guidelines. When my parents were in the hospital, they were feeding them what I call duck food, the cheapest crap, the pasta, the cooked vegetables, and just a lot of stuff that comes out of cans and comes out of containers. You know what they call fruit? A fruit cup, which is full of sugar. It's wrong. If I want to eat a piece of fruit, give me an orange, give me a mango, give me an avocado. Of course, I'm allergic to them. But the thing is, the only good thing about this triangle that I can see is that they're stressing whole foods. The bad thing is they still demonize saturated fat, and they're still trying to micromanage people's diet. And really what it comes down to is, what do they feed kids in school? What do they feed prisoners? What do they feed the military? And what do they feed people in hospitals? They get it from the guidelines. This is a start, but this is not, in my opinion, the end. But at least it's a start. So we are moving in the right direction.
All right, Thomas.
Well, Rick, I think, said it all right there. But I agree that it's better than it was, but there is still a lot more work to go. And it's sort of like like when I read about their recommendation for saturated fat, I'm like, it's kind of being a little hypocritical. Their chart showing one thing, and then they totally say another thing, which tells me that they're still trying to accommodate for certain people. And, one of the things that we need to do is stop demonizing saturated fats, because to me, that's not the killer. Matter of fact, I think saturated fats is more of the healer than the killer. And, so I don't really, just like I did it with the other pyramid or the other triangle, I really, I just do what is best for me. And that's all that we can really do, but not to listen to all this propaganda that has been out there for many years.
Kelly, what are your thoughts?
Well, Rick and Thomas both said it pretty well, and I agree what they said. And for me, my opinion about it, it's definitely a start. I'm happy that we are interpreting something better, but the one thing that I do see missing on it, because they do demonize it, is the saturated fat, because saturated fat's what keeps us full. Saturated fat's what keeps us healed. And the one thing, I'm glad that it's a start, because I'm hoping to start to see a change in the hospitals and the nursing homes and the prisons, and especially the schools. And actually, it's sad that going through the same school that I graduated, growing up in the 80s and 90s, going to school in elementary in the 80s and 90s in high school, the exact same cafeteria that I walked through back when I was going to school, you see the breakfast, you see a variety, you see eggs, you see sausage, you see bacon, even with the cereal and whatever. Today, I walk through there where my daughter goes to school, exact same school I graduated from. You walk to that same cafeteria and you don't see hardly any eggs, sausage, bacon. It's donuts, it's duck food, it's garbage. And it's sad, and it's like, no wonder our kids are dealing with mental issues like ADD or ADHD, autism, and stuff like that. It was bad enough for us, us 40, 50-year-olds, early 60-year-olds, that we dealt with that, but we didn't have it near as bad as our kids today. So I'm hoping that this is a change, but it needs to be a bigger improvement. So I'm hoping maybe this is definitely the start, and I'm hoping maybe in the next 3 to 5 years they change it again, where they add saturated fats more.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that the fat is the most important thing to focus on. I mean, we become a fat phobic world. You're fearful of eating fat or being fat, when in reality, most animals like they dream to be fat so they could survive hibernation, migration, gestation, and the famines. And we're afraid of the thing, but we're basically directed based on a diagram of a diet that is not meant for a human animal. It's meant for a controlled, domesticated animal. I think that's the part that, again, we honor, okay, you got some meat there, but it really is for institutional and nutritionists that are going to go out there and spell some story that it is controlling and untrue for sure. Yeah. All right. Thyroid disease go down with carnivore. I'd say yes. You guys have any experience with that?
No, I never had any thyroid issues.
Yeah, I see it in the fertility world. So many people are infertile or thyroid damage because of because of a plant-based diet. The goitrogens, which are all plants, I also call them tumorgens. They not only damage the thyroid gland, but they cause tumors and cancers in all of us, right? Single ingredient, low carb, whole foods, the average person. It's a good way to introduce them to the idea of a lifestyle shift. And I imagine them gravitate to, we got to go to the fatty meat, the iguanas. That's what we want to eat, right? So we all want to eat the green stuff that falls out of the tree, but it's got to be the right temperature. Although I grew up with avocados and fruit trees in LA, and I got to tell you, I was sick all the time, all the time.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm probably about 90% carnivore. At least I'm not going to eat pretzels. But on the other hand, a little joke there if Peter's watching. But time to time, certain vegetables, certain fruits that I can handle, but I don't do it all the time. It's time to time. I'll eat once in a while. I'll eat fermented sauerkraut. I'll eat fermented pickles. I like to try, but only going to do it within season. I want to do pickled watermelon rind, but I'm not going to go to the store and buy the watermelon. I'm going to go at local and get it within season. So I only do the fruits and vegetables within season, time to time. I may have a baked potato time to time if we go out to like Texas Roadhouse because it's cheaper to do it that way. But other than that, it's time to time. I'm not going to do it. I can't eat vegetables or I can eat plants all the time because that's when I was doing keto, I was doing that with the spinach and not knowing the oxalates and the lectins and all this high arsenic in almonds. And so like, I will not eat no more seeds. I will not eat grains. I will not eat beans or legumes. Time to time, I might have potato. I may make my own French fries, cut my potatoes and make French fries in tallow time to time, but other than that, all this other stuff, I'm staying away, and probably 90% I will be eating meat closer that I can afford with the beef because I do the best on red meat.
So in our ancient past, we likely ate some sweet fruit in season from time to time. Maybe we had a tuber, although a raw potato is not good for us. But maybe some honey when we sent Rick to go get it and bring it back for us. Yeah.
I just got this from my yard.
Keto corn. What is that?
It's an orange. This is the way wild oranges are supposed to look. They're not pretty like the ones in the store. Look at this thing. And they're not that sweet, let me tell you.
Yeah, and so, we went and gathered, and how long would the ripe fruit of an orange tree last?
A few days, maybe they're in season for about a month, and that's it.
Yeah, and right. You really want a bitter apple or bitter orange? Nobody does.
Good. They're good for marinating meat.
All right. Leaders create leaders, not followers. We are the leaders that kiltz has made into a tribe. Our job is to spread the word and bring people safely to our space. Yeah, and that's why it's important. The more the story is told from people who've experienced it, authoritative federal agents of the government, I think that they're killing us. It's not good.
Yeah.
Right? Retired Rick and company. All right. Stopped eating veggies. I stopped getting migraines and my body stopped hurting and my blood sugar finally started going down without medication. And I mean, really, I wish I would have known when at the age that Rick learned about carnivore, because then my life would have had much earlier turnaround, I suspect. 10% of calories from saturated fat, and they're sending mixed signals. Right. Everyone's jumping to the new guidelines and reading them and saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to follow this, right? Sounds like a new movie, right?
Yeah, right.
Right on. It's fatty meat, faith and fasting is the thing that I join on. And any meetups in the center of the country, Kelly?
The not that I'm aware of. I know we've been like Julia Edens. I know Helix. We're all talking about. We love to do a Missouri meetup, and I think we're gonna try to like start working on that and getting you out there. Maybe Carrie Mann out there with Healing Humanity, and my suggestion to put it right smack middle Missouri. We have a lake called Lake of the Ozarks, and I mean it'd be the perfect. It's like an hour and a half from my home, hour and a half from Springfield, 2 hours, 2.5 hours from Kansas City and St. Louis. And I know we have several carnivore community fellow communities in Missouri, and I'm looking forward to doing this. But my biggest one, I am working on going. I already got the ticket. I got to get with travel agent to get the hotel this week. I'm going to Keto Palooza in Louisville this October.
All right. I'm going to try to get there also. Let's see. So what about ground beef, pork? I mean, pork's pretty inexpensive.
It is.
Even if you throw in some chicken and organ meats and things like that, Rick, what do you guys think about, that steak is so expensive, but in fact, the carnivore lifestyle is actually healthier for you and pretty cheap?
Well, think about it. I haven't had steak in a while. I mean, it's been months since I had a steak. I do eat a lot of pork and chicken. And I mean, some of it's parking lot chicken, I admit, but some of it's store-bought chicken. And I eat store-bought pork. This stuff's been as cheap as 69 cents a pound when it's on sale. I'll buy a ton of it, put it in the freezer, and then I'll thaw it out and I'll cook it up. I mean, usually when I have breakfast, it's 4 to 6 eggs with pork. I've had that for years, and it hasn't hurt me. I know some people are allergic to it. It doesn't bother me. Now, occasionally, when I eat pork constantly and I don't have enough beef, I start to lose energy. That's when I bring in the sauerkraut and I mix it with the pork and I eat that, and it brings me right back up. Then the next time they have a sale on beef, I hit the ground beef. I buy the cheapest, fattiest ground beef you can get, which is, I think, 73% lean or whatever it is. The rest of it's fat, but it's the one I like the most. And I'll eat that. And I generally cook it by stewing it. I'll put it in a pot, cook it slowly, and eat that. When it comes to beef, if I can get it, great. But if not, I can survive without it. And then there's always the iguanas. Sometimes I'll go fishing. Sometimes I'll go shrimping. I'll eat anything as long as it's meat. I refuse to eat the duck food. I am not a peasant. I will not force myself to eat duck food. No matter how they try to make it look or taste, it's still duck food to me.
Super processed. What are your thoughts on all this allulose and stevia and fake sugars that they say have no calories and they have no adverse effect on you?
Why would anybody eat that stuff? It doesn't even taste good. What is the point? Once you have trained yourself to eat a good diet, you don't want to eat any of that crap. I don't see. If I want something sweet, I'll get a natural orange, or I'll get a banana or something. I don't want it. I like the taste of meat. I like the taste of fatty meat. That's what I like. So, of course, people look at me and they figure I'm the troll whenever I comment or go on a live stream. They're like, oh, that Rick, I don't know. That guy's crazy. But it's just year after year of living this way. It's like, why do I want to downgrade? It doesn't make sense.
Well, I always say, a ripe, fresh fruit from time to time, or a little honey from time to time. Those are nature's whole foods, if you think about it. Right. But all this other stuff, they say that allulose doesn't, it's not metabolized, but it glycates, and it's probably a poison.
Not only that, doesn't it send signals to your body if you eat something sweet, boost the insulin? Yeah. So I don't see the purpose of it. If you're going to eat something sweet, eat, like Dr. Kiltz says, eat a piece of fruit. And if it bothers you, don't eat it anymore. It's that simple.
Right. And not to mention it, it's like if you get I used to get the monk fruit allulose sweetener, it's like $15. It's getting expensive. I hadn't bought that in a long time. I still have some in time to time. I may put it in my coffee with my heavy whipping cream, but I don't even care to even eat anything sweet. Now, time to time, if I wanted it, I have my fruit. And a lot of times I might just fix me some Kiltz ice cream. The vanilla is sweet enough there.
Yeah. Your body can't tell the difference between real and fake. It's. And
the other thing you got to be careful. Definitely read the ingredients. At some of the brands like Stevia and the Raw, they put maltodextrin in it or dextrose in it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and that's why a little bit of honey or fruit is nature's made from time to time. But you weren't going to have access to the hive all the time.
Mhm.
They weren't. You're coming back. They're going to take care of kiltz for sure.
Yeah.
That's why Rick sends me.
Well, you know, it's funny. I got a wild beehive in the tree in my backyard. I've never touched it, but I'm sure there's honey in there. I'm not going near it.
Right.
We got a wild
Not with a 10-foot
beehive
pole.
in one of our building's walls, and I'm not
See?
messing with it.
It's a lot easier to get an animal and kill it than to have to deal with thousands of bees attacking you.
So we got people from Switzerland today, all over the world on Instagram. And I mean, it really is like George from England. We got people from all over the globe sharing a story. Pretty remarkable of our inspirational conversations. Yeah.
It's amazing how small the world actually is, you know.
And I mean, to me, access to people around the world and this is what we're made of. And George is like, eat fat, grow thin. Richard McCarness, back in 58. I love Schlank's book, Eat Meat 3 times a day, back in the 40s.
That's
right?
my diet.
Is it, right? What about Rick? You do a little yogurt?
Yes, I make yogurt. I eat it every day.
Now, what cow is going to let an adult cow suck its teat?
None that I know of.
Ain't happening, right?
That's right.
Dude, after 6 months, the cow usually kicks the calf off the teat.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. And really, milk products are meant for the species specific animal for 6 months a year, plus or minus, right?
It's to help them grow, basically.
Benton need a special interest, sugar and big pharma. I mean, that's kind of what all these governmental guidelines are, right? We need
All about money.
The authority's going to give you a guideline. Here's how you have to live and act, right? What does come back and say to the lady is making power bowls of ground beef, liver, and kidneys? I mean, what do the organ meats cost for a pound of beef liver?
It's
I
expensive
think I bought
now.
some. I bought some at Walmart probably or about a month ago, and I think it was like $5 for 4 slices. I haven't tried it yet. I was gonna give it the first try because I want to see how to prepare it, because sometimes they said it could be tough. So I'm going to research and see how to cook it to get
Cook
it
it as
tender.
little as possible. Cook as
Yeah.
little as possible.
Rare
I
laws.
just take liver and I just cut into like little strips, and then like once a week I just take one of the strips and have it.
I always ate frozen raw liver. That's how I ate it.
That's how I have it. It's all frozen and I just like pull it out and I just have it.
Maybe I'll try it that way. Have a sliver of that, because I don't think I'm going to do the Boss Hog his favorite meal.
Oh, yeah.
Raw liver and coffee.
And then
That was the only thing. That's the only thing he ever offered to
Sheriff.
Sheriff Roscoe, and nobody would take it.
I actually tried beef heart too the other day. So
That's good stuff.
Heart is great. I mean, we should have the right to carry the arms, hunt the animals, and eat the food that we're meant to eat. And eating the organ meats and the fat is critical. So Deja 5578 having some issues with fasting glucoses, and it's probably overcooked meat, too lean, not enough rare raw fatty meat, in my opinion, and maybe eating too many meals a day, less frequently, and fatty rare to raw meat. Any comments from the group?
I also found out through a blood test a couple years ago, because a doctor, when I recommend every year to do one, every time I had 2 cups of coffee, it raised the blood sugar up. Even if I intermittent fast, where you don't eat but if you drink coffee does raise your glucose up. And I know one time I got to 104 on my glucose fasting. just drinking coffee.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Coffee is extracted sugar substances, essentially. I mean, think about it. You're extracting those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think the reason my sugars were higher for a while was because I was taking too much protein. I think once I took down the protein and kept the fats at the high level that they were at, I started seeing some improvement. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen so many women on carnivore, men and women, improve their fertility journey and often get pregnant naturally, and then also improve their IVF success rates.
Right.
Great sunny Larry, cold North Florida. Let's see. Winter actually lowers the ages, so maybe it's. But if you think about it, so you drink vinegar. How much? A gallon? A cup? A tablespoon? I mean, what's going to happen in the stomach with a little bit of vinegar? Nothing. Nothing. Doesn't make any sense. Acidic fruit might actually good for you can do that if you want. But I don't know. Kelly, let's see. Tops take off pounds sensibly to people and ad becomes scale obsessed. Yeah, stop measuring. That's one of the biggest things, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Look in the mirror and honor the amazing person right there, right?
That's right.
It's do we really need since the government in the medical field began to train us how to eat and be healthier and measuring every day, it seems that the cost of healthcare is going up and we're getting more miserable.
Some of us have no health care.
Well, and they're in many ways they're trying to force people that they have to spend their money on a system that actually doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
What type of government is that?
Mm-hmm.
A
government that
communistic, fascist.
It's a government that prints money out of nothing and then uses the debt as leverage.
Right.
Well, they're convincing us to do things from a coffin. Essentially, they're preparing us for death,
which they overcharge you for that too.
Yep.
You should be able to just bury somebody in the backyard, but they can't do that. Oh no, I bury my pets in the backyard. That's a natural way.
I mean, if you go looking for me, you'll probably find me back there. I always tell them, don't look. Just say I'm on vacation. I'm going to burn you. That's it. Right? Kiltz dies, fertilizer. And we're here to make our best fertilizer in the world, for sure. And
they take that away from us. They put you full of chemicals and they put you in a concrete container in the ground. What sense is that?
Well, and even all the casket makers are owned by the VC companies.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even get it made by the local guy anymore.
Nope. In the old days, you just bury somebody out on the farm. That's it.
Along with the dogs and the chickens and the other beasts, right?
That's right.
Let's see if we've got any other comments or questions. Let's see. Just finished January 29, 31-day lion leftovers on the 1st and haggis on the 25th for cultural reasons. Roast pork today. Nice. I ventured for about 2 weeks on the lion's diet, and then I adventured a little bit to some of my standard bacon, eggs, butter, beef, rockin'.
I did lion for the 31 days, but I did halfway through, I did add butter back in just because it made me feel better. But,
I prefer the Rick diet.
It's I don't know if that was ever, variety in relationships in our diet is kind of deadly. My wife doesn't love me to have girlfriends on the side, and my steak doesn't either. Monk fruit glycates. It's a sugar. Sugar's glycate, and so do amino acids. And monk fruit is just another sugar, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
it's processed in a factory.
how do you know what's in it when they have a box, a bowl, or a bucket, and they say this is what's in this? I guess a governmental agency is overseeing what goes into it and certifying it's true. And do we trust that anyway? Nah. Right. I'll be in for a minute. I got to go to the nursing home and visit my mother-in-law. Yeah, rocking Coach Amy. Again, we got to, and when we go to visit our brothers and sisters in the nursing home, what do we got to bring them?
I'm certainly going to bring my uncle that's in the nursing home beef sticks.
Yeah. Iguana sticks.
because everybody else will bring it. Well, except for my mom, everybody else will bring him the stuff that he shouldn't be eating.
Of course.
Including
the medical facility.
Has anybody else tried to grow the monk fruit? Because I have.
Yeah.
And monk fruit, pretty much like a tropical southern, tropical plant.
It's a small melon. It has almost no, it's not like a watermelon. It's got big seeds in it and it's got a rind. And I was looking at this thing, I grew it. I'm thinking, how in the world do you get the sweetener out of it? It's a component of the structure in the seeds. It has to be highly processed. It's not something that you could just go in the garden and get it. It's something that has to run through. They got to use solvents. They got to use evaporation and all that. Because my dad used to be into that years ago. He was into that sweetener when it came out. I'm like, okay, where does it come from? I grew a stevia bush. It looked nothing like the stuff from the store. It was like green slime that had a mildly sweet taste to it. It has to be processed. All this artificial sweetener crap has to be processed to make it edible. So I'm thinking to myself, if it comes in a box or bag, why in the world would you eat it? We put materials in bags, not food.
Yeah, brothers and sisters around the globe, that we've been controlled by the message to basically make us weak and meek. And slave soldiers, peasants, and prisoners eat plants. And if you feed a lion and a wolf a plant-based diet, they become dogs and cats, domesticated animals. And we're saying here, okay, enough is enough, right? Right.
And the worst part is, in agriculture, everything for efficiency is a monoculture. See that orange? Whatever happened to the orange industry in Florida? All those orange groves are being replaced by housing developments. You plant thousands of trees, the exact same genetic variety, row after row. One insect comes from Asia or one fungus comes from somewhere else, and what happens? It wipes them all out. But if you had a pasture, you had a ranch, you have cattle that breed with each other, they're all genetically diverse to some extent. It's very unlikely that a disease is going to come and wipe them out. And besides, you can move animals around. You can't move the plants around once they're in the ground. So this is one of the reasons that I still think that animal agriculture was the most sustainable, because you can move the animals. And unlike a commodity crop, you could actually keep the animal alive. You don't have to kill it and store it. You could keep it alive and then have food later. So that seems like an ancestry appropriate diet to me, rather than spending all this time farming. And then what happens when the weather changes? We get a freeze. All the food is destroyed. You plant all these vegetables, one frozen day, and they're all ruined. But if you have cattle, you can just gather them up into the barn, close the door, add some heat, or they can survive. I mean, cattle can survive in very cold temperatures.
And so can Rick.
I got a neighbor down the road. He's got property on the highway just a mile from me, and all his cattle are outside. They go to the woods. I mean, it's just like wild animals, deer, buffalo, whatever. They go in the woods for shelter.
And they hang out as a herd. They come together. They protect. Put the weak in the center, and that's I think one of the most important things that we need to realize, that these animals have been doing this for kind of a long time.
When you look at the vegetable industry, you have to have all these workers to harvest the fruits and vegetables, basically slave labor. You go to the average ranch, you don't see the slave labor. You may have a family, you may have some employees. It's totally different. I mean, what part of agriculture would you rather be? Would you rather be the one planting and picking strawberries and tomatoes and all that, or the one that has the animals? That's what I've always said.
Guidelines. The problem with the guidelines is they tell us when we're really little, and as if they're true facts, and then we brainwashed and we live those things. That's one of the biggest challenges, these guidelines, right?
I mean, that's the conventional farming, even though the modern farming happened over 100 years ago when they had tractor stuff, but that's what happened in the 30s during the Dust Bowl. We had a severe drought. They went out to areas like Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, where you get less than 20 inches of rain a year. And this stuff was designed for wild buffalo to roam, or deer, antelope, whatever it is, and they put the plow to it, and then when you have a severe drought, here comes the Dust Bowl.
Right. So those animals, they roamed across the grasslands of America and many other places of the world. Right. There are no fences and in the monocrops, as you mentioned, and so that truly is our healthiest lifestyle. And okay, where are the wild peach trees? I mean, apples, are they natural to the Americas?
Yeah, they are. Apples are natural, but not the ones you get in the store.
I think Johnny Appleseed actually spread them around the world, especially the Americas, and they used them to make hard cider because they couldn't drink the waters.
Well, think about apples. The natural apples are what they call crab apples. They're very small,
They're like
and
these
they're very
little-
sour.
You used to have crab apples all the time in my yard.
See? So they are natural, but the ones in the store, they're man-made. They've been genetically engineered through hybridization.
It's the same thing like the strawberry. I got a raised bed that is called, I think it's honeysuckle, whatever. It's a large June berry. It comes ripe around May, early June, but this thing is a huge berry. I don't know if I remember when I was a kid going down the road to the conservation agent. Along the road, you have wild strawberries. Those things were tiny and
White.
They weren't, they were somewhat sweet, but not sweet like some of these strawberries you see today.
Mm-hmm. You know what's the only fruit that's relatively sweet that was wild to the Americas is the pawpaw. That's it.
Never had
You
one.
don't see that too often in the stores.
I had those when I was a kid because on my grandfather's land where my mom was raised, they had pawpaw trees there.
And the thing about pawpaws, they're all genetically different. They're impossible to raise as an agricultural crop because they need specific soil conditions. When they breed, there's a fungus that lives in the soil, mycorrhizal fungi. Without that, it can't survive. So if you try to make a pawpaw grove, you can't do it. So you usually see them along fence lines, along creeks and stuff like that. And everyone is slightly different. They taste somewhere between a mango and they got like a citrusy taste. I mean, if you've had them, you know what they taste like.
They were pretty tasty.
Mm-hmm. But that's the only.
I never even
fruit.
heard of a pawpaw until
You never heard of a pawpaw?
And then
Wow.
another
The
one.
last time I
Another
heard
one.
of pawpaws is a cartoon on the Disney Channel. Yeah.
And you never could feed your tribe on the seasonal fruits.
Nope.
We are travelers and hunters, and we followed the herd. We ate the meat, we drank the milk, and we also made the cheeses eventually, all the yogurts, and the blood. Without that, we didn't thrive and survive. But we figured out, okay, we could plant these things, cultivate them, but we didn't know the ramifications of the damage it was going to cause us. And ultimately, it got us high enough to look to the stars and say, hey, let's build a device to fly to the stars. And we're gonna send someone up there. The dogs and monkeys said no way, and so you got a few human beings to agree to it. And we know the truth about that sort of activity. It's ultimately we become the the week and meek for the Masters. Done with that. So, all right. What's for the rest of the day? Just last minute comment. I got to sign off. Thanks, everybody. All right. See you tomorrow night.
Yep.
I guess.
See you guys later.
All right. All right. Thanks to my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and appreciate everyone. See you tomorrow.
See you.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys. All right.
All right. I'll
See
see you
you
guys later.
See you, Thomas.
Hope to see some of you guys in
Yep.